Commentary Booth is a show for media lovers by media lovers just like you. If you want to support the show, go to pariomagazine.com.au. Marvel TV shows. Their latest has just dropped, Moon Knight, starring Oscar Isaacs. We're, one episode in of a 6-episode season? What did you think of that opening episode?
Oh, sorry, I just saw something. I enjoyed it. Like, I really like Ethan Hawke as an actor as well. So I'm quite partial. Like, I think with all Marvel shows, it's one of those things that's going to build, and you're just going to like build towards the end, like the final episode of it all. So I'm kind of like not putting all my eggs in the basket just yet because I know what they're like. But I was reading about it that there was like one scene that the directors was really like fought to keep from being cut. So like I really feel like the director's getting really a lot of creative direction with it and trust with what he wants to do. So sorry, I just got an email from work. I think it's great. And I was looking on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got 87%, so it's been positively received as well. So
Yep. Yeah, this is another one where I went in with zero expectation or prior knowledge of the character. So I was like, okay, let's jump along for the ride. And I think it's almost an hour, and it went by super quick. Like I didn't feel like it was dragging at all. But yeah, like you said, it's the Marvel TV shows. They're 6 episodes, and I don't really think you can judge them. They're hard to judge on an individual episode by episode basis, I think. Like you kind of do need to see them as this is essentially a 6-hour movie broken up into 6 parts. So you kind of have to wait until you get that full picture to give it a true recommendation. But from that first episode, I really enjoyed it. My one criticism is the sloppy and like budget looking CG.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
The cars in that chase scene, what were they thinking? They look so bad.
Yeah. I hopefully this is not the case for the whole show. But obviously also when you first got a first episode, you want to start strong. So I don't really know why they do want to put a bit of extra budget in trying to get like the CG right, but they're Marvel. There's always a method to their madness, Morbius aside.
Yeah, like the cars looked bad. The log, I think, was the most egregious thing when the log flies across the screen and takes out the car. I was like, oh, wow, that didn't look real at all. That looked worse than sort of video game CG at points.
Yeah. Back to the 2010s.
Mm-hmm. And what did you sort of think of the Moon Knight, Mark Spector, Stephen Grant character?
I like it. I think Oscar Isaac, the Moon Knight character, is another actor that I'm drawn to as well. I have liked his work, whatever. So I think there is, and I think there's a lot of potential with this, like with the whole, I guess the whole ensemble cast as well. So I'm excited to see where he takes it over the next 6 episodes. But as you said, it's the type of show you've got to wait till the end of it, and then you can look back and see how the characters develop and whatnot. So
Yep. Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential with the sort of the way the character is, with the kind of split personalities and memory loss and things like that. Like I think there's so much cool stuff they can do, and it allows him to just, hey, we need him to be like this for this episode, so they can, and it's not overly strange. What else did we get?
I can relate to this. I can relate to the split personalities a lot. DJ, run, two complete polar opposites.
Yeah. But do you have to chain yourself to your own bed with a ring of sand around it so you don't just disappear at times?
Sometimes, yes, actually. And I need to chain myself to my chair to make sure I do work and don't get distracted. So, I can relate, you know.
And we were talking about Venom before. The voice in his head reminded me so much of the Venom Tom Hardy dynamic, where they're kind of talking to each other and just being smartasses to each other, basically.
once again, me talking to my own self as a smartass as well. So yeah, I really feel related to this character. I'm excited to see how we develop together over the next 5 episodes.
Yep. I like the look of the costume as well. Like normally with these Marvel shows, it's building up the 6 episodes to the point where they finally get their final costume. This one just gave it to us in the first episode. I was like, that's cool. That's different.
Yeah.
What did you think of Oscar Isaac's British accent?
I've heard better British accents, and I've heard better British people doing American accents, but I wasn't 100% convinced, to be honest. If I'm being a bit critical.
Yeah, it was a bit.
Yourself?
It was a bit funky, but then there was also moments where I was like,
yeah.
Wait, is he like Tom Holland? Is he British and I don't realize?
Yeah, no.
Like there was a couple of sentences where I was like, maybe.
Yeah, he's definitely American. Yeah, I could kind of tell. But it's funny, there's an episode of Seinfeld where there's like this American actor and he's speaking and then he just quickly speaks like 2 sentences in British and then he goes back to American. So like, I always love seeing like actors. Well done on putting on these accents because I can't do them. But
yeah. But yeah, like Tom Holland is one where I'm like, when he then does interviews and just talks in his regular accent, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. He's British.
Yeah. And
crazy.
Mr. Hemsworth as well. You got to give him props for his accents.
Yeah, true.
I was watching a video the other day and he tried Iron Brew and the lady was like, you have to speak in a Scottish accent as soon as you've tried this drink. And he started speaking and you'd think that he's Scottish. Like his vocal range is just mental. Like, and this was after having like a fizzy drink and he just started speaking like Scotsman. So
wow. When you're talking about people that like break their accent, that made me think of, remember there was a segment on, I think it was on Raw, where Triple H calls out Kofi Kingston because when Kofi first debuted, he was a Jamaican.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
So he had a Jamaican accent.
Yeah.
And then they're teaming up for Survivor Series or something. And Kofi cuts this promo in his regular American accent, and Triple H just stops mid-promo and goes, wait, I got a problem. Aren't you Jamaican? And everyone's like, no, it's fine. So that was a funny moment. Ethan Hawke. That's an interesting character in Moon Knight.
Yeah, love him. I think that this is one of the main reasons I was drawn in, and it's a very interesting character. And this is my favorite so far.
I think he's going to be a very cool bad guy. Like just the opening sequence where we're introduced to him and he's like smashing up glass to put in his sandals. I'm like, you are a crazy messed up evil dude.
Yeah. Big time.
And then later when he walks in, you can hear the glass crunching in his shoes as he's walking. I'm like,
it's a nice little touch. I noticed that. I was like, this is good. Like at least this is better than the car scene. But yeah, no, he's going to. I think he's just going to go crazy in the rest of this show, and he's just going to really f people up.
Yeah, and yeah, like I saw an interview. He said he based the character on David Koresh, the cult leader that was part of the Waco siege. So like this is going to be a pretty hectic character, I think. Like this show feels like it's going to be very like dark and horror leaning rather than fun, happy-go-lucky action Marvel show. Yeah,
of course.
And violent. There's some pretty violent moments in this show as well. Like, oof. I'm keen to see Marvel sort of go down this route more like we got with Punisher and Daredevil, where they are allowed to be a bit more gruesome and violent, whereas MCU proper have kind of just been very PG, appeal to the largest
very
audience
funny,
possible. I think that's all we can say. Like until we get the next 5 episodes, it's hard to give a solid rating. But from now, I'm all in. I'm ready to see the next 5.
Yeah, we'll have to discuss this in a month's time after I assume we're going to talk about Doctor Strange because it's out in a month. So
Yep. Yeah, no, I imagine this is going to tie into Doctor Strange. So
yeah,
next episode will be Doctor Strange. Wrap this one up as well.
Yeah. Oh, I'd
What
have
do you-
to, if I want to thank you for something. Actually, give me a second.
Oh.
So I got a package the other day in the mail.
Oh, yeah, it came.
Cool ass shirt. Yeah.
Sweet. It finally came.
I completely, I was like, oh, I saw like halfway through the thing, you're wearing your top. I was like, oh, stupid Jaxon, you should have worn this. But yeah, next time.
Yes. I'm glad you got it. I was worried that it just disappeared in the mail.
No. Thanks for that. Yeah, it's great.
Awesome. What are your sort of predictions for Doctor Strange? Do you think we get the X-Men?
Bro, I hope so. I think we will. I think we'll definitely get the X-Men. I reckon someone's going to die. Like someone big might die. I think I reckon Wanda might die. That's my call. That's my big bold prediction for it.
Wow, that's a big call.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm based on the trailer where we got the back of Patrick Stewart's head.
Yeah.
I think X-Men are a shoe-in. Fantastic Four are probably a pretty likely option because I'm pretty sure there's a Fantastic Four movie in the works for further down the line.
Yeah.
Blade I wouldn't be against. I wonder if we get Robert Downey Jr. back, or do we just get alternate universe Iron Man played by Tom Cruise, which is the rumor.
Yeah. I think Robert Downey Jr. is probably like done with it all. So yeah, like Tom Cruise is that. Oh, that'd be so good.
Like, there's so many questions going into this movie where I'm just like, I don't know what we're gonna get, but I'm keen to see what craziness comes through those multiverse rifts.
Yeah, you're not going to see, like, if you look it up on IMDb or like Google, you're not going to see like all the actors in it because they won't want to give it away, like what we had with Toby and Spider-Man. But yeah,
I think they're going to go pretty crazy on this one and just be like, here's 2 Iron Men, here's 3 Spider-Men. Like, we're just going to go nuts. And that's the fun part with this movie. Like, they could do anything because they've established that there are all these different versions of these characters. So who cares what we bring out? So let's go nuts.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Have they announced how long that movie is? Like, I'm scared. I think this could be a 3-hour epic.
Oh no, I'm just on Google now and it says 2 hours and 6 minutes, which is kind of disappointing.
That seems short for the amount of stuff that they could squeeze into this movie.
Unless I'm hoping it's wrong, but I don't know. Like, this might have been up. They might have changed it a bit from when Spider-Man came out because it was originally supposed to come out ages ago. Well, like they started working on it, like, I don't know, 2018 or something. So it might have changed.
Yeah, I think it was.
Or maybe.
I think it was supposed to come out before Spider-Man.
Yeah. But I think with the way they went with Spider-Man, they've kind of changed it around. So hopefully it's longer than 2 hours.
Yeah. Oh, we'll find out in 5 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah. Start of May.
Oh. All right. So good luck with the marathon.
Thank you.
For people that are preparing, like yourself, what would you recommend they watch in the lead up to marathon prep? Top recommendation for the week out of these 2. I think it's pretty obvious which one we're gonna say.
If you want to get a good night's sleep, watch Morbius. But if you want to watch a good show, check out Moon Knight.
Yep, 100% agree. Alrighty, thank you everyone for listening to the commentary booth. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe on podcast services and on YouTube. You can buy that shirt on wrestlermerch.com. You can follow Jaxon on TikTok at Jax_Carr. And you can follow me on social media at JamieAppsMedia and at Pario Magazine. The Commentary Booth is a fan-funded production of Jamie Apps Media. You can support the podcast alongside our magazine, Pario Magazine, on Patreon at patreon.com/JamieAppsMedia. The following people supported at the community support group level or higher, and you cannot fathom how incredibly appreciative we are for their support. Brian and June Hart, Blake Robinson, Rena Renee, Courtney Paulson, Darren Hatcliffe, Jaxon Carr, and Tracy Apps.